As you know, I'm at the Ag Tech Summit here on the south end of campus at the University of Illinois at the I Hotel. We're now joined by the Chancellor of the U of I, Robert Jones. He made the keynote address to kick off our program for the day. We're in Ag Research Park. Well, I call it Ag Research Park, but Research Park here on campus. You talked about something I find of interest. It's about the collaborative efforts that take place between campus and industry and what Research Park has meant. In this case, the Ag Tech side. Can you give me a broad view?
Well, I can tell you it is gratifying to be here the 10th year for the Ag Tech Summit, which I think is an example of what I've been calling radical collaborations, where you bring together people from industry, from private companies, from universities, from startups to come together to share knowledge and to think about how they move forward as a collective to find some of the most troubling, important challenges that face our society. And that's no issue more important than the future of food production, food security, and all the innovation that's come out of agriculture. It's no longer about row crops or grain crops. It's about other ways of thinking about everything from biomanufacturing to producing different kind of proteins using bioprocessing and fermentation. And so this summit is a way that really gives me great assurance that this community will always be a driver of Ag Tech because it is deeply ingrained in our land grant mission, and we are able to bring a large group of people from around the country and not around the world to convene annually to share ideas and best practices and to work on collective impact strategies that's going to move the ag sector forward and will continue to be one of the fastest growing sectors not only in the state but in the nation and in the world.
As a crops physiologist, it appears that this is your passion. I have heard you speak many times. This is one of the places that really strums your heart.
It is. I identify with the land grant mission, particularly in the notion of food production, food security, and that's why it's been such a great opportunity for me to have led this university for the last 9 years. And I leave with a great sense of assurance that it will always be a leader in this sector. And I certainly hope something that I've done and something I've said has given a greater sense of urgency that we got to keep gathering, we got to keep innovating, but most importantly, we have to work seamlessly together. Because ag is just, you think about it. Well, we're the leaders in AI. And a lot of that AI is applied directly to agriculture. It has transformed how farmers or growers produce food and technology. Agriculture is a technology-driven industry now, more so than it ever has been. And I submit to you in the next 5 to 10 years through things like IFAB and biomanufacturing, it will continue to be so. So as one of the few chancellors who are deeply immersed in agriculture and food production, this has really been the high point of my academic career.
As you move to the Northwest to lead another university, how do you view the University of Illinois' role across the planet in the agricultural world?
Well, it continues to be huge, and Washington is not a land grant university, but it is a public university. It shares some of the same values without being technically a land grant university. Is not part of the land grant mission, but it certainly embodies most of the same principles. And they have some innovative work that goes on in both plant and animal science, some important connection between food and health. They have a major healthcare system. So I'm not backing away from my land grant roots by going to another land grant university. It's just a different opportunity to integrate across all of these disciplines because it's all about outcome.
Thank you so much for taking the time with me today.
Pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate it, Todd. Always good to see you.
That's Chancellor Robert Jones from the University of Illinois.